you go. Have a good meeting.
Okay. We're going to call to order the Scituate Zoning Board of Appeals Thursday, October 17, 2024 meeting in the Select Board Hearing Room at Town Hall and remote via Zoom. The Scituate Zoning Board of Appeals is committed to providing an environment of respect during meetings. We ask all members to interact in a polite manner, even when there is disagreement. We value participation of our community among all participants, including marginalized and minoritized communities, to feel welcome and respected. As our committee members and all who participate commit to these standards to support and respect our community. Note, again, this meeting is in person and via Zoom. The meeting is being recorded and can be viewed on Scituate Community Television and Facebook Live. The recorded meeting will be available the following day on Comcast Channel 9 and YouTube Community Scituate Television. With that, we will call the first application of Joseph Hannon, professional engineer, Atlantic Coast Engineering LLC, as representative for the owners of record of 48 Garden Road, Scituate, Mass., requesting a special permit finding in accordance with NGL Chapter 48, Section 6, and Section 810.2C of the Scituate zoning bylaw, and or any other relief the Board of Appeals may grant to allow the raising and reconstruction of a single-family dwelling and garage for the property located at 48 Garden Road, Scituate, Mass. Do we have an applicant online or in the room?
I think he's online.
Yeah.
All right.
Is it Jed?
Yes.
Fantastic. All right, 1 minute here. Mr. Hannon, you should be able to unmute yourself. If you don't know how to do that, I'm going to send you an alert right now. You good?
Excellent. Yes, thank you. Can
There you
everybody
go.
hear me okay?
Yes, we can. Name, address for the record, Mr. Hammond, please.
Sure. Joseph Hannon, professional engineer, Atlantic Coast Engineering. We're at 88 Front Street in Scituate. As you mentioned, this project is 48 Garden Road. It's an existing ranch style dwelling, very old, rather dilapidated. The prospective buyer, they're already under agreement. The prospective buyer is looking to raise RAZE, the existing dwelling, as well as the shed and the garage, as you can see on the plans, and construct a new single family dwelling, as you can see in orange on the plans. They're also planning to replace in kind, same dimensions, the garage. And then the only other thing to note is the shifting of the driveway as a result of the enlarged footprint of the new proposed dwelling. You can see on the zoning table for both the garage and new dwelling, we're not proposing any further new nonconformities. There's several existing nonconformities, but we're not proposing any further new ones. And we believe the architecture and the style of the new dwelling and garage is in keeping with the neighborhood in the area. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
Thank you. That's all conforming, and you're reducing the non-conformity on the left side of the house. Is that correct?
Yes.
Great. Anything on this application that we should be aware of or any comments?
No, I looked at the garage, if it were to exceed 15 feet in height to the ridge, it would be creating a new nonconformity, but the proposal is to maintain the existing height of 14 feet. So that's good. I would also be curious, Chad, if you calculated the percent of impervious on the site under the new scheme, and if that's under 25%.
Okay, Bob. So just to clarify, is the question if the net increase of impervious is 25% or more?
No, it's not a net increase. It's a, let me just refresh my memory, but I believe if you make the site of an existing developed home over 25% impervious, that's one of the triggers. Hang on.
Okay.
Should have marked it. No, I beg your pardon, the increase needs to be 25%. Increase impervious area of a developed lot by 25% or more. So I don't know
Okay.
if
And we,
calculations been made or not.
okay, I know we are under that, given the existing deck and shed that's being removed, and the proposed driveways impervious 3/4 inch stone. But I can certainly share that calculation, the math with
Yeah.
the ZBA.
maybe By the time this comes in for a building permit, maybe that can show up on the site plan.
Absolutely.
I will then open up this to public commentary. Do we have anybody in the room who would like to comment on the project? Please come up, name and address for the record.
Good evening, Chairman, members of the board. Mr. Chairman, through you,
Name and address, please.
oh, sorry, Brian Gilbert, 52. We are the neighbors to the left. Is there an approximate time of raising that dwelling?
That's a question. for the
Sir, my understanding is, as soon as we can get through the permitting and issuance of the building permit, a prospective buyer, soon to be owner, hopefully, would like to start, as soon as possible, but obviously there's an appeal period with the special permit and then the time frame for review for the building permit. So I think optimistically later this year, but probably it would roll into 2025.
I guess my concern is probably not your jurisdiction, but it's an older house. It has cementitious clapboarding. My concern is asbestos, and how is that asbestos abatement going to happen? I'm not an expert at this, the engineers are, but you get into the winter, if you start taking that down, I'm not sure if just wetting that and soaking the dust is going to be a way to approach it. Our garden is right on that border
Left
there, and we're really concerned about any kind of drift from that raising process.
Bob, do you have any?
Well, certainly for a demolition project, asbestos survey, and if any is found, abatement is required. That's a Board of Health regulation, and then in turn, the Board of Health has to sign off for so you can issue a building permit. So I know their process in general is to have that done by a licensed asbestos abatement company. They track not only what's in the house, but when it comes down, they track it to proper landfill, which I think is in Ohio these days, but at any rate, it's a process it's quite closely monitored. And the Board of Health is the sort of lead in that, and then, as I say, they have to sign off before I can sign off.
And we'd be notified of that,
You'll be notified of the demolition, yes.
of the demolition once it's approved and permitted.
Right.
We wouldn't have any input into that.
I think you very well could, but it would be through the Board of Health.
Right, okay.
I'm sure they would be happy to share that information.
And one more question to you, Mr. Chairman. You mentioned the drainage increased runoff. Would there be any grading to the 52 Garden Road?
Question for the applicant, are they planning to do any grading?
In terms of the grading, obviously we'd have to do an as-built upon completion. The intent of the design here is to maintain the existing grading. Obviously, any disturbed areas would be loomed and seeded, but the intent is to maintain the existing grading and not, try to shed any potential runoff towards any of the abutting properties.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Any questions online?
You have no hands raised virtually.
Okay, yes, sir, come on up.
Steve Yorkman, 861 Main Street in Norwell. And I just have a quick question for the board.
Yes, sir.
On the left-hand side of the property, there's a non-conformity of 4 feet. And they're actually increasing that from the property line up to about 5 feet or something like that. But
They're
they're
reducing the non-conformity.
reducing the non-conformity by about a foot, but they're extending it further back on the property.
Yes.
So I'm just curious if this board feels that that's an intensification of a non-conformity, or if it's not an intensification of a non-conformity. That's my own question.
Well, we'll take the vote and we'll find out.
Thank you.
Any other questions internally in the room? Any other questions online?
No hands.
I will, questions from the board before we close public commentary?
No.
No questions, any questions from the board? I'll make a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Oh, so, let's, procedure, I move that we close the public commentary period.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motions?
I make a motion on the first application of Joseph Hannity, Atlantic Coast Engineering, as representative of the owners of record of 48 Garden Road. Request a special permit finding in accordance with MGL Chapter 48, Section 6, and Section 810.2C of the Scituate bylaws, and I believe that the Board of Appeals by grant allow the raising and reconstruction of a single-family dwelling and garage for the property located at 48 Garden Road in Scituate, per the plan of Atlantic Coast Engineering dated August 17, 2024. The board finds that such raise and rebuild does not create any new nonconformities, with the extent that it intensifies any existing nonconformities. Such intensification is not substantially more detrimental to the neighborhood.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, sir.
Excellent. Thank you. Have a great night.
All right, on the, we'll call the second, in the right order. The second application of, yes, Paulette O'Connell, 80 Front Street, Citrus, Mass, for 68 Turner Road, requesting requesting the special permit finding in accordance with NGL Chapter 48, Section 6, and Section 810.2 and B of the Citrus bylaws, or any other relief the Board of Appeals may grant to construct a 1,215 square foot addition to a pre-existing non-conforming single-family dwelling for the property located at 68 Turner Road. Name and address for the record, please.
I'm Paulette O'Connell from Oak Architecture, 80 Front Street. I'm here on behalf of the owners. Catherine is here with me today.
Welcome. Can you run us through the proposed project, please?
Sure. As you noted, we're trying to do about a 1,500 square foot addition. It's a one-car garage with primary suite above. We're putting that on the eastern side of the property. The reason we're here today looking for a special permit is both the lot itself is non-conforming and the structure itself is non-conforming. The lot is 7,500 square feet in an R3 zoning district. It should be 10,000. And on the western side of the property, the existing structure has a setback of 2.9 feet versus 8 feet that's required. Our intent is obviously leave that side of the property alone. We're going to be adding on to the eastern side of the property. It's about a 24 by 26 foot footprint. It's going to be within the setback, so we're not going to be creating any additional non-conformities on the lot. And the structure height of the existing is about 25 feet to the bridge, and our addition will be under that, so we're clear of any height issues.
It's under the existing height. Bob, commentary on this project.
Not really, the average front setbacks calculated, using the adjacent properties. So I'm reading this map as William Street, is one of the cross streets which effectively cuts off the properties that you need to count against that calculation. And Curtis Ave, although it's not shown, would be another cross street that cuts that calculation down. So it's only these two houses that you have to calculate to get your average.
Correct. Yeah, and the average ends up being 19.8 feet versus 30. The existing structure is 20.2. The setback of the new structure will be 27.5, so we're not even going up to the front of the existing structure.
Right, of the proposed addition, right, there's no
Correct.
change to the existing structure, the proposed addition is for.
Correct.
Right.
And then as Bob mentioned, the pervious, we're gonna be removing a good portion of the existing driveway to put the new addition on, so there won't be an issue.
A significant net increase in impervious. Correct. Shed staying?
Yes.
Any commentary, so I'll open public commentary, anybody in the room that would like to ask a question or comment? Anybody online?
No hands raised.
I'm moved that we, board?
No.
Any questions about the board?
Good.
I move that we close the public commentary period,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, good motion.
I make a motion on the second application of Paul O'Connell, 84th Street, Scituate, as recommended the owners of record of 68 Turner Road. Request a special permit finding in accordance with MGL Chapter 48, Section 6, and Section 18.2A and B of Scituate bylaws. Any other relief that the board feels may grant, construct a 1,215 square foot addition to a pre-existing non-conforming single-family dwelling. The property located at 68 Turner Road, per the plan of J. Webby Consulting, LLC, dated 9/10, 9/18, September 18th, 2024. That the board find that such addition does not create a new nonconformity, and that the extent that it intensifies the existing nonconformity, such intensification is not substantially more detrimental to the neighborhood.
A second, all in favor?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we are now on our last application of,
Best for last.
well, let's find out. We're on the application of Michael, Laura Reinhardt, and Curtis Street, Scituate. As continued from September 19, 2024, requesting a special permit finding in accordance with MGL 48, Section 6, Section 10 of the Scituate zoning bylaw, and any other release the board of appeals may grant to allow the raising and reconstruction of a pre-existing non-conforming shed / garage property located at 10 Curtis Street, Scituate. Please name and address for the record.
Mike Reinhardt, 10 Curtis Street, Scituate.
Nice to see you again, Mr. Ryan. So, just so we are super clear. The garage, you are asking only for the raise and reconstruct of the current garage, that will be slightly, if I understand it, shifted.
Correct, rotated, so it's parallel with the house. There's another page.
There we go,
Yeah, it
that's-
shows a little bit bigger. Yeah.
Right. Excellent. So we go from the original location, which is at its closest point to that property line, 1.3 feet. Correct? To a new location, which at its closest point to the property line is 1.7 feet. Is that correct?
I thought it was the same, but that 4 inches.
What was your rotating it?
Yeah, yeah,
Well, I'm just going by,
sure, whatever is there.
Whatever is
I had
there.
a surveyor comment.
okay, so that's.
So that's correct. Well,
That is, what it is here is correct,
Yeah.
okay, thank you. Questions, Bob, any commentary, question,
No.
Anybody in the room that would like to comment? Anybody online that would like to comment?
No hands raised.
Questions or comments from the board? Do we have a motion? Oh, I'm sorry, thank you. I would move to close public hearing,
Second.
public commentary, excuse me.
Second.
Second, all in favor of closing the public commentary period?
Aye. I make a motion on the third application of Michael Reinhardt of 10 Curtis Street, Scituate. Request a special permit finding in accordance with MGL chapter 48, section 6, and section 810 of the Scituate zoning bylaw, and any other relief the board feels may grant to allow the raising and reconstruction of pre-existing non-conforming shed/garage located at 10 Curtis Street per the plan of Morse Engineering dated October 2nd, 2024. And that the board find that such raise rebuild does not create any new non-conformities to the extent that it intensifies any existing non-conforming. Such intensification is not substantially more detrimental to the neighborhood. Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Thank you. Elizabeth, any other business?
Yes, if we could approve the minutes from July 18th, 2024.
Second. Make a motion to approve.
Do we have a motion to approve the minutes? Okay. I second the motion to approve the minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
With that, do we have a motion to close the hearing?
Motion to close the hearing.
All in favor?